So I thought I was going to commentate over my work in progress videos for this TAS. And since there are already 3 videos, I'm going to start with this. So right off the bat, pulling the bomb while standing saves about 1 frame, rather than jumping and then pulling the bomb in mid-air. So for this room, I couldn't really find any convenient frame at all. The turtles didn't want to move to the top left of this room. So the strat I was going to use was just pull the bomb as early as possible so it explodes as early as possible when I reach the stone here. It's really unfortunate that I could not find anything that would work so the turtles move to the up left. They seem to kind of focus the bottom right of this room, probably because Alundra is standing into that direction. So yeah, for this room, the existing TAS used a bomb for this room, and it turned out to be like over a second slower to use a bomb in this room rather than just what I did. So after this minecart section, this door is a 2-tile wide door, and if I would have gone to the right, into the right entrance, it would have saved about 3 frames, but then the turtle would have blocked my way on the way back, on the sprint back rather. So I sacrificed 3 frames in order to get to not get into the way of the turtles here. Those 3 frames turned out to be faster than doing some RNG manipulation earlier into this dungeon. And again here, pulling the bomb while standing to save a frame. This is just some simple platforming. In this room, you hit a lever and you cannot leave the room before that message displays, otherwise the engine will not start and you softlock. So for this I did a dash into the wall, so my momentum gets decreased and I stop earlier after hitting the lever. Means I have less movement to do to get back to the minecart. And also I did a 2-dash frame only, that means I only input after changing direction after changing directions I only input 2 frame of downwards momentum, so instead of going straight down I go down into a diagonal direction, which saved a couple frames. For this door I sacrificed 3 frames again to go into the lower part of it. But since that makes me so I can just dash straight after getting into this room, it saved about 15 frames in this room. 10 frames for changing directions going downwards and a couple frames for having to go less down. So same here again. I will hit the lever by dashing into the wall so my momentum gets decreased and I stop earlier. And then I do that kind of diagonal downwards dash. It's basically the same what I do here. I will dash into the wall so I stop earlier, and I also did a 2-frame upwards dash so I could make more use of the wall to stop my momentum. Because sometimes, well, obviously not for a TAS, but if you're in a bad position you might hit a lever twice with your dash, and that's definitely not what you want. So here just some simple platforming again. For this room though, I didn't need to pull the bomb on the first frame possible because I'm going to use the turtle for and his flame to let the bomb explode. So I could take all the time I wanted for pulling the bomb. So right here I had two routes for this room. One was going the bottom route, and it only turned out to be about 3 frames slower, probably because of less dashes through this room. So right here I could have thrown this box away way earlier, but I wanted to keep it for the very last jump, since when you carry an item over your head you get one additional frame of animation, so basically your jump length will get increased by 1 frame. Which made it so I could jump 1 frame earlier onto this platform. So yeah, technically on the third hit I only needed to hit a lower lever, but since it doesn't waste time hitting both at the same time, I just went for this. Right here I only needed to move to the left for 2 frames, so I could enter this door from the right side. Since the left and the right side both are equally fast for this room, I went for going into the right side, because it's faster in the previous room. And this is already the boss fight, quote-unquote boss fight for this dungeon. My goal was for this kinda obvious. I wanted to kill the last merc, those are the little monkeys, on the earliest frame possible. At first I was going to do another jump attack towards the third and fourth merc, but it turned out to be a couple frames slower for some reason, rather than just standing and slashing into their direction. And yeah, skipping the life vessel here, that drops down in the center of the room, because it's not needed to grab, and it's definitely faster for a TAS to not grab it, as you don't really need any health upgrades, other than the forced ones, and there are in total 3 forced life upgrades you have to get. So right here I could have moved into the left side of the screen transition to shorten the length of this auto walking cutscene, but it would have taken me about 13 frames to do so, and you don't save those 13 frames by going into the left side of this loading zone in that cutscene.